Yeah. So, how are you all doing this morning? And like, what's on your brain? What's on your mind? What do you need help sorting, rolling? Jet, I know we were just chatting, so you're more than welcome to go first, or anybody. It is all good.
Yeah, so right now I am organizing all of my crayons, all 121 different colors, and cataloging them so I have, so I know exactly like what tones and stuff I have so that, when I color in coloring books, I know exactly what shade I want and can just grab it. But I also, I've been a Crayola crayon nut since I was a child. So, like even just like talking with like, I was talking with my mom recently about different shades of skin tones. And I was just kind of like, yeah, well, normally, I try to do like a tumbleweed or a desert sand. And she's just kind of like, you know your crayon colors by name? Yes. So that's what I'm up to at the moment.
I like
while this is going on.
I think it's solid.
Technically, I'm supposed to be at work in an hour, but I told Katie that I would probably be late. So I'm not even getting changed, and I'm just going to be all snuggled up and hang out for a bit.
I like that. We will take you snuggled up and chilling out. Sometimes we need just crayon mornings and with good people. Yeah. I like it.
I already finished my coffee with my Mr. Rogers mug.
Oh, that's so sweet.
His sweater changes colors when you put hot.
That's genius. So, that's awesome.
Having a very playful, chill, happy morning.
I like this. Lindsay, what's on your brain? What are you thinking about or need help sorting through or yeah?
I just wanted to show up today. I think that's what my brain needed and what I needed was just to show up because I haven't really been. And I feel like my body and mind recognize that. And it's like more aware of the more I become aware of like the potential in each day and the more I don't show up and those two come together, it comes to a head at some point. So I'm just going to start by showing up again. So whatever that looks like, I'm not going to try and put rules behind it, or I have been trying to actually with expectations, but I can't end up not doing anything. So I'm just going to start here.
I like this. What does oh, yep, keep going. You're good.
No, I lit some sage and playing around with being outside. I vacuumed. Got my journals. Some oils. Put some Valor on. I found a really cool one called Envision that I'm using now. So we're gonna start there.
I like this plan.
Yeah.
Do you have like a list?
No, I don't have a list. I have it here. But why I resist putting it on paper, I don't know what that is. What is that?
That's blocking you from putting it on paper?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's laziness or if it's just time, like priorities, like time management, or distraction, like just normal work, like distraction in the day or the week. But like I know even like more clearly than like a year ago, like things that I want to do, like things I need to do. but for some reason, the list doesn't like become tangible.
Mm.
And then it doesn't get done. And then it doesn't get done. You know, I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. And it's just maybe just like a discipline thing too.
Can we try something?
Yeah.
So, what is her name? Glennon Doyle talks about blocks of love, like boulders that get in a way. Like if we have a river of love that we can share it, right? But then we have these boulders of alcoholism or addiction or shame or different things that kind of like get in our way. And so I like that same kind of thought process of like why we don't do things that we think we should be doing too. Like being like, oh, I'm just lazy. Like A, I know you, but B, also sometimes there's other things that get around like, oh, I have to do this perfectly, or, oh, I need to do these other things before I can take care of me. So I want to give you the gift of taking away the word lazy, because no, it's just, we have boulders. So we're just figuring out what your boulders are, and we just got to shift them a little bit. I'm going to give you homework before we move to Callie.
Okay.
Hey, Tara. So divide your paper up into 4 quarters.
I just got a wave of excitement. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See? Aren't you glad you came? Okay. On your top left side, write 10 minutes or less. So draw your page into quarters. And 10 minutes less. On your top right side, 30 minutes-ish.
Okay.
Bottom left side, like 1 to 2 hours. Okay. And then on your bottom right side, do half a day to a full day. Or it could be plus a couple days, but half a day to a full day. It's more accessible. Okay. And then as we move to Callie, while we're doing that work, I want you to come up with 5 things for each section that are things that fill you up. Not things that you're like, oh, I should do this. Like I should run. But like if you enjoy running, or if you enjoy dancing, or like, oh, I could like do art journaling, or like play with my crayons, or paint, or have a dance party with my daughter. So what are things that are in that time frame that are accessible, that fill your cup? Okay. Cool. And then you just type in the comments when you're ready, and we'll come back to you. Awesome. Callie, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Tara. So Callie, what's on your brain? What are you thinking? Moving, grooving?
I'm waking up.
I like this.
Like that's really all I have in my bubble right now.
This is good. We'll take you chilling and stretching.
And seeing y'all smiling faces. That's all I got.
I like it. I approve this message. Tara, good morning. How are you feeling? What's on your brain?
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning. I'm having computer issues, so I'm through my phone right now because I can't get my husband's computer to work for me.
Yeah. So today is just an hour for us to bring whatever we're kind of stuck on or kind of figuring out, or like, hey, I've got this problem I'm mulling over, or I need to figure out the next step for a hard conversation I need to have, or how to meet an archetype. It could just be anything that's on your brain that you want a little help. So instead of having like a one-on-one with me in a creative soul conversation, it's like we can do it in a group, so it's like less pressuring.
Okay, probably something that's been a problem for me is motivation. There's a lot of things I know I really should be doing, but I procrastinate, or I just don't do it. That's probably the biggest problem I have right now.
Yeah. Are they things like, because sometimes we have an easy time being motivated for things like work or things that involve other people, but hard for ourselves. So what kind of things do you want more motivation for? Does that make sense?
I need to drink more water. I need to probably eat better. I need to get better sleep because I wind up staying up playing Minecraft late at night because I've got so many things going on in my head and I just don't want to deal with them. So I do something else. Work, I do need to focus a little bit more on work. There's a lot of things going on with the whole COVID and there's changes coming like every week. So pretty much just to somehow to stop procrastinating and get to really what I need to do and make myself do that.
Mm. Yeah. Do you know who Gretchen Rubin is?
No.
I'll type it in the chat as well. Gretchen Rubin. So she wrote, where's my journal? Let me grab my journal real quick because I wrote all this down. Okay, I think it's in the hallway. Give me 2 seconds.
Morning, everybody.
And oh, here it is. Okay. So when we think of motivation, sometimes we make it like I can just say X and do X. Like we can just hold ourselves accountable. But Gretchen Rubin did this thing where she found out humans have like 4 tendencies. And so we kind of fall into one of 4 categories ish. But then we could be differently in different sections. So maybe we're an obliger in one way and we're a questioner in another. So I'll just kind of like run through them and you can see what resonates, because then there's different tools. Because if we try to treat ourselves like an upholder, if we're a questioner, it's going to be going against the grain and like dragging ourselves to do anything.
I think you went over this in another thing, like a red tent or something, a joy club. I think recently too, within the past month or so.
Yeah, I did a live about it on the Embodied and Joy page.
Yeah, I think I'm a questioner.
Oh, okay, cool. Perfect. Let me.
I think there was obliger, questioner, another one where they
Upholder.
Upholder, and then there was one other one.
The rebel.
Yeah, I'm a bit of the questioner and the rebel. Yes. Solid.
Okay. So we got, come on, where is it? No, this is in here. Okay, so for the questioner, here we go. So a couple like strategies to think. Okay, 2 things. 3 things. So rewatching the video might cover some things that I'm not going to say here that have like more ideas. But for questioners, one of the questions you need to ask is like, why do I want to do this? Because like I should drink more water is not going to make, if anything, the rebel is going to be like, nope, like when we get super defensive, I know this happens to me and somebody's like, well, why do you want to do that? And I'm just like, walls up, like, nope, well, now I'm not going to do that thing. So as a rebel and a questioner, or with tendencies towards these things, knowing why you want to, not why anybody else says to, is one of the hearts of this. of getting to the things. Because if it's just like, I should eat better because it's better for my health, you're gonna be like, yeah, well, I can do that next week. But why? Like, oh, I want to drink more water because I just feel better, or I feel like I have more energy to stay up and talk to my husband or hang out. So next to the things that you wrote out of more water, eating better, sleep, or make like a couple spaces underneath each and write why. And so just write that real quick, but you don't have to answer it yet. So the rebel resists all rules, inner and outer, motivated by present desire, want to do. And so sometimes like if you tell them, they'll do the opposite. So putting the onus that like, it's not because anybody else is telling you to. Choosing to act for a sense of freedom. So yeah, identity, true to you, clarity of why. Convenience is a huge thing as well for rebels and questioners. Like if it's easily accessible, it's like, oh, okay, like I'll do this because it's here. So I know for some people having water out of a straw, like a water bottle with a straw, I drink twice as much water when it's in a straw versus if it's like just a regular cup or a flip cup. And it's like a whole thing because people can just sip. So maybe it's also a matter of making it easier. And then questioner. One of the questions they ask is what needs to get done today? So maybe we can also switch your habit of like, okay, I should do this, but like, this is what's on my docket today. I'm going to drink 2 bottles of water instead of like, I should drink more water, make it more measurable.
Okay.
And then monitoring and tracking for a questioner and finding the loophole, like loophole spotting of where you get stuck of like, oh, I'll go, this is something I do in the morning. I like moving my body and it's like, oh, I'll go for a run and like move my body in the morning. Then I'm like, it's not that nice outside, so I'll just run later. And then later I'm like, well, I usually run in the morning, so now I'm not going to run at all because it's nicer outside, but my morning is my workout time. So maybe like, okay, 1 healthy meal a day, not necessarily like my breakfast will be XYZ, but okay, like I had whatever cereal for breakfast. My lunch will be my healthy meal, giving yourself the flexibility. How does like those things resonate?
Okay. So I've got the questioner down, but the strategy is just convenience, the why and the ease.
Yeah. Like distinctions. So like the loopholes of finding where's the spot. If you can go back into an observer mindset with where you're not following through where you would like, where does that drop off happen? When there's no food that's already made in the fridge and you're like, do I really want to make something? Or we could just get pizza. Not that I did this exact same thing this week. So this is a personal experience, not a projection. But so, okay, that's a loophole when you're like, oh, I want to eat healthy food, but if the healthy food's not ready at dinner time, I'm usually exhausted by the end of the day. I don't have the energy to make. So we do that. That's a loophole to be like, okay, this is where I can fall. How can we sew that up? Or, so like something we've tried is like every plate or things like that, or like prepackaged. HEB has good salads and it's like, this is $4, but also it's ready to go. So sometimes the ease. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm bad at HEB. They have all those pre-made meals that you just stick in the oven with the metal trays. Yeah.
But they're actual, like they're ones that they make are pretty healthy for you.
Yeah, and they're pretty good.
So
Bless you.
thank you. I feel like that's a different, like freezer meals versus HEB's like ready to go meals, like feels like a different conversation because the food's fresh. I love freezer meals. Okay, so we're gonna, Lindsay, you feel good? You got your list? Okay, so Tara, while we work on Lindsay's list, I want you to do your why for each thing and then figure out like 1 to 2 loopholes for
Okay.
water, sleep, and either. Cool?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, Lindsay. I don't know if y'all heard my post about Islander, the musical, but the playlist has been on repeat in my house and in my brain, and it's 2 ladies singing a cappella, and they have like a sound pedal. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, Lindsay, tell me the things.
Okay, so for my 10 minutes or less, I've got diffuse oils, journal, pray, make tea, put my feet up, serve someone like my husband or Nova, throw things away. I can do that in 10 minutes or less, and that's satisfying. I can put a fire in the fireplace. I can hug somebody, and I can grab a crystal. That's what I've got for 10 minutes or less.
I like it.
And then 30 minutes, I can take a bath. I can do yoga. I can play with Nova. I can read. I've got like 20 cats because we've got 4 acres. So, and I love cats so much. And so I can go outside and just sit with all of them and give them all individual love. I can do breath work. I can play with art ideas. I can take inventory of like my supplements and like what my body needs, what I need to like reorder, instead of just having it all there and in my head. And then hour to 2 hours, I can like get like decent exercise. I can watch a movie, play outside, make time for travel planning. That came up and I like that. Can make good food, or I can do like further education if it's like some like of any one of my interests, like do like a study on something. I could do that for an hour. Like, why not? And then half day, full day, I can pretty like spaces in the home, like make them more like happy home spaces. I can work on a mood board. And then I could come up with a bunch of stuff that was just for fun on half day, full day. I don't know why. Maybe I'm like limited to doing stuff just at my house and I didn't expand outwards. I could probably come up with more for that if I think about going beyond my house, my 4 walls. But I think quarantine is like just maybe that's what's going on. Okay. That's what I've got so far.
I like it. That's a great list. And yeah, you can totally add to it too. That you're not like, I am only allowed 5 things in each section. But sometimes where we get stuck, hey Lisa, good morning, is like, if I can't do X, well, I can't do anything, right? Kind of like what I was saying earlier with like the running of like, oh, I usually do this in the morning. I usually have sacred time or like my grinding time in the morning. And then like your morning gets going and then you're like, oh, well, my whole day's shot because I didn't have my hour. So now if you have a list that you can pick something small to be like, okay, how much time do I realistically have? I have 30 minutes. What on this list resonates? What feels good?
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Cool. I also, sometimes when we get overwhelmed, we like okay. Do you guys know what I mean when I say observer mode? Like we kind of like get out of our skins and we're like looking at ourselves and we're like, okay, here's how the situation looks from an outside perspective. But then we also have our inner critic, which can go into its own kind of observer mode. And it's like, wow, you suck. Like why can't you do X, Y, Z? And you're like, okay, hey, like I'm trying, but like that can get really loud as well. Yeah. So I'd be curious if you want to do some more fun work, is if you made a list for overwhelm. Because when we get in a mood of like, okay, I'm already running late, I don't have this time, I should do something, but I'm not. And we look at the list, it's like, well, I'm not deserving of good things, or I don't get to do
I mean,
any of those things.
super familiar. Yes.
Yeah. So can we make a list of 0 to 10? And like 10 is max overwhelm, where you just want to curl up in a couch in a blanket or whatever shame spirals do to you of like we need to put ourselves to bed mode. And 0 is just like having a great day. 5 is like it's a fine day, but it's a little hectic.
Mhm.
And it can be like 0 to 3 or 4 to 6 or whatever. But what are things at each of those levels that feel accessible to you? Like maybe when you're at a level 8, like overwhelm stress mode, you're not going to want to make art or journal, but a hot
I see.
bath or a walk feels really nice. Maybe a mini dance break feels great below 5, but after 10, you're like, if you tell me to dance, I'm going to shiv somebody. You know, like listening to Viking music might help at like 10 and rage and be like, I'm making a fire, you know. This is my 10 is like, I need to go to bed, take a hot bath, or create a fire. Those are my only options. So, and it can be things from your list, or it can be different things as well. So it's just like an extra hand. Cool.
Yeah, that's my list. I've been struggling. So I had to start getting back onto my self-care checklist, like just to make sure that I do the thing.
Yeah. Lisa, are you willing to share with everyone kind of about your self-care checklist and like what are the things that are on it? Because I love this idea.
Yeah. Okay, so my self-care checklist, I don't know, can you see that? It's basically like I start with the basics. You know, I start with water and my medications, and then showering, breakfast, lunch, dinner, sleeping. I can actually share this on the Joy Guild too.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yes, please.
I have a picture and I have an Excel spreadsheet. Then I give myself 4 different categories. So physical, I'm having to read this backwards. Physical satisfied, cleanup satisfied, comfort satisfied, and knowledge satisfied. So I have a bunch of different things, and I have to do at least 3 of those things to satisfy the whole requirement. So if you look at it, it's like, you know, if I do some stretches, then I get a check. If I do some rolling out, I get a check. I have to elevate my feet, so I sit upside down on the couch, so I get a check for that. So you can kind of see, and then when I get, 3 checks, I get a check at the top. I like checks because I like doing the checklist because checks make me happy, and it kind of puts me back in a better frame of mind. The one I always have problems with usually is the exercise one, but I've been having to do a lot of stretching because I did so much walking that I kind of injured myself. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing more stretching naturally. It's the comfort that I haven't been doing as easily. And, so that's, playing with my dog, walking my dog, snuggling my dog, training my dog, doing gardening, or just sitting in the sun. Drinking some tea, crying, taking a bath. So I've got to, when I have a hard time, this also shows me what I need more of. So when I don't get my checklist in the areas, like if I'm off balance, then I know what I have to focus on. Right, because I naturally get certain things, but if I don't get others, then I don't have balance, and I need balance to take care of myself. And I know I need that. And I'm doing the self-care checklist because I was like supporting some friends, and then I noticed I'm like, oh, I'm not doing the comfort, and I'm off balance, and I'm not feeling right. Oh, thank goodness they asked me to do that, because somebody asked me, it's like, what does it look like? And I'm like, oh, that's easy. It's just checking it off. And, I get more checks, like, because I was doing, I know why I'm off balance. It's because I went total knowledge base. I did knowledge satisfied because I had a 10-day steady cram session to get certification hours for my work. And I had to do, 72 hours of almost pure study and no self-care. And it was all sitting on watching a video, and holy cow, that was awful. That was absolutely awful. my legs hurt, my butt hurt. I didn't eat right, because I was trying to run to the kitchen and get something. And I did do water at least. I got some water because every few hours I'd go get a glass of water and come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll absolutely share that. I'm totally happy to share that. I want to encourage my friends to be happy. And if you want to use my techniques, use my techniques, because it helps, anything that makes you feel better. I always believe that if you put more into the world, you put that good into the world, it pays off. And
Yeah.
let's see here.
I agree. Yeah, if you'd be willing to post whether it's the photo or like a copy of the spreadsheet in Google Docs, like a downloadable copy, so that way they could edit and make their own. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Happy to share.
And Lisa, did
So,
you have
yeah.
anything? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm a little off. So I'm trying to rebalance. I feel like I'm getting more balanced, but I'm still a little shaky.
Is there anything on your mind that you wanted help sorting today, or
Actually,
ideas
just
or-
checking in for me is a
Cool.
comfort.
Yeah.
So having this conversation, like for some reason my phone rang at 8:20 and I'm like, what the heck? Why is it ringing? So I got up and picked it up and then I went, oh, nobody was there, but Creative Soul conversation, because I wouldn't normally be up at this time.
Yeah. Perfect. We're glad you joined us.
Universe said, hey, you sure you don't want to do that? Oh yeah, yes I do.
I would like to be there. Yeah. No, I like that
Yeah,
self-care checklist for sure. I think I need to do something along those lines too, because
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here.
cats are good for that. Lisa's are you throwing it on the Joy Guild site or on the Facebook?
I can do both.
Yeah, if you put it in the Joy Guild, I'll download it too and upload it so it saves as a topic so that people can search for it. Or I can put it in the files on the group.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Yes. See, this is what this is about. This is what the Joy Guild is about. Like Tara being like, yes, give me the list. Show me the money. Oh, good. You're selling. Lindsay, you got your 0 to 10 sorted?
Not totally sorted. I was just typing in the chat. I'm sorry. I'm about to have to leave.
Oh, you're good. Do you
I'm
have
so
anything
sorry.
else you need before you roll?
You've already helped tremendously. I'm excited to just work on this for the rest of the day.
Cool. Yeah.
And share it with him and see if he wants to participate as well. So we're just gonna do all the things.
I like it. Have a fabulous day, babe, and thank you for stopping
Thank
in. It was always good to see your face.
Thank you. Good to see all of you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Tara, what's coming up for you with Rayer? What did you kind of explore? Or what's coming up for you?
Okay, so I made myself a list because I'm a list maker like Lisa, and the whole physical comfort knowledge, and then I missed the other one, but basically work. I'd like to be better at my job, and because I like my job. So I really just need to make the time to study up on some things. And I think what would help me do that would be to get with some coworkers that are friends and kind of going, hey, you do this and I do this, but it seems like a little harder for me. How do you do it? Kind of thing. And I have a work buddy that, when things get overwhelmed, she calls and she vents to me, or I call and I vent to her, and it's about work stuff. So we can help each other. For eating better, I know the reason why. Maybe make time in advance to cook, like on the weekends or something like that, or ask for help. Ugh, I hate doing that. Ask for help from my husband because, you know, he works out. He's a gym rat. So we have a home gym. So he just goes in there and does his thing. But we've been off of work for a week because my girlfriend came in from Florida, and we're all super careful and the whole thing. So we haven't been doing that. So we really need to get back in the habit. So I think having a set plan every day works for me. Like I get up and I do my overtime and I do work and then I do sometimes more overtime and then I have dinner issues. And you're right, by the time the end of the day comes, I don't want to cook. I don't even want to go in the kitchen, and I certainly don't want to sit at my computer. So maybe make the time during the weekends or free time to cook in advance healthier meals. Sleep. Set a time limit on my gaming at night, you know, because at the end of the day, I just want to veg. And work is very stressful, and especially with the mandatory 20 hours of overtime, just trying to set a game limit and just do that. And then sleep is a necessity. I do need sleep or I'm very cranky. So make sure that I have a set amount of time to sleep. The more water thing, I do try and use the reward system. I don't drink a lot of soda, but on Thursday and Friday nights, I'm a bit of a geek. We do Dungeons and Dragons. So I have 2 different groups that I do. And I'm not allowed to have a soda until I've had at least 2 bottles of water. I've been doing 1 bottle of water, but I don't think that's sufficient. So, because I'm talking throughout the day and I don't even think about food. I don't think about water. I'm like a machine. I do, and all my clients, and it's kind of hard to eat or drink while I'm on the phone with clients. And so I don't even think about it. So I need to make sure on my breaks and on my lunches that I do drink at least half a bottle on the break and then a bottle during lunch, a full bottle. And then try and incorporate more of that throughout the day after work so I can do that. And I have on there big letters, make a self-care checklist, because I've never heard of something like that. So Lisa, thank you for that. So I've got the physical comfort and the knowledge, and I like the check box, but I do the check marks and then I do the line. It's like extra, like I got this. All right. Yay, I got the whole thing and I can cross it out now.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Yeah. I totally get that.
So it was physical comfort, knowledge, and then I missed the second one, whatever that one was.
Cleanup.
What is it?
So cleanup. It's cleanup and organization.
Oh yeah.
So like I have, like, because of COVID, I have a pile of boxes that starts to stack up by the back. So it says like break down the boxes. And then I have cleaning for 10 plus minutes. So every 10 minutes I do of cleaning, I get a little check mark. Grocery shopping. I added meal planning now to that row. You don't have to do one specific thing for the row. It's just so that you can kind of get an idea of what you should be working on. Like when I'm kind of down in the dumps, I don't necessarily want to do certain things. And so I have to look and go, well, what am I willing to do?
Yeah, I live with my husband and our son, and he's a roommate, so he does his thing. But dishes tend to pile up in the sink, and none of us want to cook in a dirty kitchen. And well, my son doesn't cook except ramen. I don't know how he does that. Can't eat that stuff. But yeah, I think that would be, and maybe make that, like, you know, when I have time on my lunch, which I have an hour for lunch, but half hour of it is overtime every day. So maybe right after work, to be able to get out of the chair, just stand at the sink and stretch and do the dishes. Maybe that would be good.
20 hours a week of mandatory overtime?
No, not a week, a month. I have 20 hours of mandatory overtime a month. I work for the state. So they're asking for 20 hours of mandatory overtime and then 20 hours of voluntary overtime.
Jeez.
So
Awful.
yeah, we're behind. It's a little heavy this time of year for applications and clients and things like that. So
Yeah, I have some times where I have problems getting knowledge, where I, like my study things for like my security certifications can be problems. So I try to do it first thing in the morning. When I first get up, I put that actually on my list of to-dos as I'm going through. I'm like, I get my water, I go to the restroom, I weigh myself, I take my meds, and then I sit down and I do 10 minutes of study. And I can always afford 10 minutes in the morning, right? So, and I consider that part of my job, by the way. So if I'm studying, I take it as part of my, like, you're doing something for your work, you should be allowed to do that during work time. So if you're supposed to be doing 10 hours a week of overtime, then maybe you should take an hour of it to study, or 10 minutes of it.
well, it's not something I could do on the clock. We have a schedule. Basically, it's a login system that logs us when we log in and we start working. And you have to be a certain amount of time in a case or with a client, and you have to account. There's an accountability clock, and so I can't do it there. But my husband gets home from work between 4:30 and 5, and so I know he likes to unwind during his day. So I figured, after work, because I get off at 5, sometimes later if I'm the client. I didn't get off yesterday until almost 6 because I was stuck with a client. So he likes to come home and kind of, dump his brain. So he gets on the PlayStation and he plays. So I think right after work would probably be a good idea. That way he gets his time to go veg, and then I can just extend my work for an hour or whatever, and just incorporate maybe the things that I needed to work on that day. I noticed, hey, I really need to focus more on this aspect of my job, and do it. So that way it's all in my work day. And then when I'm done for the day. And then I can move on to the other aspects of my calendar, because I'm not a morning person at all.
Right there with you. It's so right there with you.
Thank you for those. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually encourage the people who work for me to do that kind of thing. I'm like, I expect them to do a certain amount of learning during the work week, and I encourage them to do that. Right. I don't want them just focusing on the day-to-day activities, because that doesn't advance their careers. It doesn't advance them. And that helps them to grow. I think you should bring it up to your supervisors that should be programmed into the time as well. Like if you have stuff, because that to me should be illegal, is mandatory overtime and not crediting you for working towards your things that would improve your work skills.
I'm only an advisor too. I just became an advisor too. So I think the first year you're there, you're just trying to figure out how to do your job. And then after that, you're trying to perfect your job. And so I'm at that point now where, this is, I work with like 20 different systems between all of the electronic systems, and I pull from the database for, driver's license, Office of Attorney General, all of that's criminal backgrounds. I do all of that. So getting the systems down, and then also there's like 93 screens for each client that I have to go in and touch. And depending on if they have one child or 5 children, I have to go in, so some of these cases could take me an hour, sometimes 2, just to interview the client. So it's just a matter of making sure that I'm doing everything exactly right. And depending on the program, going into only specific ones to make sure that I'm doing everything actually right. So I just need to, I think, make myself a checklist for work and maybe as I go through the day and write down, okay, I'm going to write this on my list because I kind of need to look at this a little more, and try and do that at least 2 times, if not 3 a week, so that I have that time to focus and make sure that I'm doing it right. So, I mean, luckily we have quality assurance to check our cases and make sure that we're doing everything right. And then we get coachings and things like that. But I was gone for like a lot of November because I had surgery, and then my boss was gone for pretty much November and December. So just trying to get back on track. But we do have monthly meetings where we go over things that, you know, the team needs to work on and stuff like that. So I think I just need to hold myself accountable for my own stuff, because my boss holds the team accountable for everything else. I think I just need to work a little bit more on that and make the time to do it right after work, because I think that would be easier for me. But I do need to sleep, definitely need to drink more water, and I do need to eat better. So I've been trying to get on a routine, because routines are better for me. Because you can take the child out of the routine, but you can't take the routine out of the child. So I'm trying to, every morning I get up and I have a bagel and some orange juice. I make sure that I get up in enough time to do that before I get on. And so that's what I kind of need to do with meals as well, as make the time a certain day every day to plan ahead. So I think I'm monopolizing the time here, so
No,
I'll be quiet.
you're good. No. This is literally what this is about. And we're all learning, and Jet is chilling and like living her best crayon life. And Lisa said she's excited to connect. So no, you're solid. Oh, that
Holy
looks so
cow,
pretty.
Jet.
I love it. I also
Wait, I want to see that again, Jet.
Oh, I'm cataloging. There's
It's color coded.
well, that's
That's
what
pretty.
I'm attempting to do. So that's just off of the like Wikipedia website of the 121 crayons that I currently own.
Yeah.
And then I am cataloging them into different color categories, whatever, because I have like my vivid or like neon colors. I have like more my like rich pigmented colors.
Oh, smart.
So I'm yeah, making
I love that idea.
cataloging my crayons so that I have
I'd get an organizational check for that. And probably a comfort one too, because I'm coloring.
You're organizing your 121 what?
crayons, Crayola
Crayon.
crayons.
Oh, got it. Cool.
It feels like you know, in fan fiction where they have different tags for things, like Hermione and Harry, or like whatever, like, or you know, school time, whatever. And then like but I feel like this is with your crayons. Like you have like a master list, and then you like, what are the rich ones? Okay, what are the neon ones? Where are my yellow ones? So you can like find what you need quickly.
Yes, this is going to be my master list, I think. Actually, I've already decided on switching it up a little bit. For one, I accidentally forgot 2 orange crayons, and I've already done the orange section, so I have to go back. But like, yeah, so this is my original attempt at a master list, and then I'm going to put them into categories after that. So, yeah,
This is awesome.
that's what I'm doing today.
You're an artist, right, Jet?
Yeah.
And you work, I think I heard at one of the red tents that you work with clay, right?
I do. So that's
Okay.
actually, it's kind of funny because like technically I should be at work in 5 minutes, but I told my boss yesterday, I was like, I have something that I'm doing tomorrow, so I'm going to be like maybe a half hour to an hour late. So I'm
Okay.
not going to my fun clay job. I'm playing with crayons and listening to you guys.
I'm
Aww.
glad you have a boss that allows this too.
I do too, because at my other job, I got written up last month for being late. So
Yeah.
I like having this boss where she's just as bad at getting to work on time as I am, and so we're very understanding.
That's weird.
I'm not a clock watcher. I don't,
I'm not either.
if I get there, I get there, but I will get the stuff done. And it's like my boss knows, here's what I want, Lisa. And then he kind of just dumps it and goes. And then I look at it and I go, oh, what is this? Okay. And then I just work on it. And I don't get up to an alarm. I don't have a set schedule. I just do my job, and then I'm done. Like when I'm done, I'm done.
I can't even imagine a job like that, honestly. So I guess it's military in me, you know, to be on time is to be early, to be early is to be on time. Or I'm sorry, to be early is to be on time is to be late. So I'm always at work early. And in fact, next week I have to go into the office. They're making us take turns going into the office. So I'm going to be in the office all next week. So I'm usually going to be there between 7:15 and 7:30. And then I have to wait for somebody to come open. And so I can get in my office and log in. And I just can imagine, you know, doing your job. Obviously, you're great at your job because he just goes here and you figure out how to get it done and when to get it done. But yeah, for the state, you have to be on the clock all the time.
Yeah. See, that would drive me crazy. It would, oh my God, that would kill me and that's why I do lists though, is because I have to stay organized, right? For me, if I don't do the list, something will drop off and I'll forget about it. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I have a team of 4, depending on me right now. And I just started my job, so they just got assigned to me, and so I'm getting them to think outside the box a little bit, because they've been in this really rigid state, and they're trying to get stuff done, and they're overtaxed, and they don't have enough support, and so they're all burnt out because they've been doing a lot of overtime, and they haven't been focused on their things. And so I'm like, okay, at 10 o'clock, we're going to stretch. And they're like, what? I don't have time for that. And I'm like, 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes. Put it down, get up, shake it off, and
walk away from the computer.
And they're all like, well, we do it together. We actually get on just like this, and we do a stretch together. And so we do just, 5 minutes of stretching. And then I'm like, okay, back to work. And they're all like, oh, I feel better. And that kind of taking that little break makes them so much more focused. And it's like, I've been mentoring. So the way that my boss got me to join the company was because I was already happy with my other job, but I have 2 previous bosses and they're kind of fighting over me right now. And so this one hired a friend of mine who I want to advance in the security world. And so he said, you will get to mentor her if you come and join me. He knows my buttons. It's like, that's awesome. Here you go. So and he hired another female manager, and she's a little rough. And so he's like, you need to give her some tips. And she's new to management. And so I want you to mentor her. And I'm like, okay, sounds great. Yes. Okay. Yes, I will accept that job. Yeah. You don't have to pay me any extra. And he did anyway, but he's like, I'm just happy to get mentored, to get on mentoring and to do the mentoring. And that is what excites me and makes me want to get up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't give me a start time. He gives me I'd like you to be here between 8 and 9 if you can. But he also knows, don't do that with me. Don't give me a rigid start time, because I'll never make it. If you give me a rigid start time, it won't happen. You have to kind of give me things that you want.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't. Is it good?
Yeah. I think it's a must read for everyone. It's Burnout by Emily Nagoski, and she wrote it with her sister, but it's about how our body processes stress and trauma and overwhelm. And it's so good. It's blowing my mind. So yeah, I'd highly encourage it. Before we roll out, Tara, I had one more thing I wanted to ask you to see if you're interested in trying it out. For sleeping, sometimes we think things take like this amount of time. And so, because this is something I had to do this year and it's been helping a lot, is to know how much time you need to get ready for bed. Because kids have like bedtime, right? So they have bed at 8, but that means we brush our teeth at 7, which means we eat at 6. And so I would do your math of, okay, if you're waking up at 6 a.m. so that you can get to work and do all that jazz, how much time do you actually need to sleep? Okay, so do you need to be in bed by 10 p.m. to get all the sleep that you want? Okay, how much time does it take to brush your teeth, wash your face, shower, whatever you do before bed, like get ready for bedtime? Okay, that's 30 minutes. Okay, do you like to like cuddle in bed and like chill and read in bed before you like sleep? Like how much time does it take you to actually like drop into like doing that math? And then it's like, okay, do we need wind down time before I go brush my teeth of like, okay, I can't be in the middle of a game, or like if I'm working on a project, I'm like, I can't go to bed right now, I'm in the middle. So it's like wind down hour for me is at like 7, so that at 8 I can make my start getting ready for bed so that I can be in bed at 9. But however that looks for you, I highly encourage doing that math. Helped me get to bed when I actually wanted to get to bed, because otherwise I'm like, oh, it's not bedtime till 9 p.m. and then it'd be 9 p.m. and I'd be like, I need to be in bed right now. And then I'd get ready for bed and then my butt would actually be in bed by 10. I'm like, how does this always happen? It's the same thing that literally happens when I'm getting ready to leave the house as well. But
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. Oh,
I
I
have some
like
support
that,
for you,
Lisa.
Tara. Yeah. So
Yeah,
one of the
that's not
things.
gonna happen.
Oh, you'd be surprised. So what
No, I would not.
I got really pissed off at my husband. Like he didn't used to help, and I got really mad. And I was like, this is not fair. It's unfair to me. It's unfair, and I'm going to make your life really miserable if you don't start helping out. And I was really clear, and I was just like, look, I think this is a reasonable thing to do. You either cook, you help with the cooking, or you help with the cleanup. And you have to do one or the other. So don't give them an option to opt out. It's either you cook or you clean, and there's no in between here.
We're kind of, and I know this is bad, but my son doesn't eat with us. We don't have like a regular family meal every night. I mean, we're all grown up. So, and we're usually doing one thing or another. He has things that he wants to do. So it's like a kind of a fend for yourself, but then all the dishes wind up in the sink. And so we're trying to make everybody accountable and wash their own dishes. The problem is that everybody gets lazy and that doesn't happen. So that's pretty much it. But I'm thinking, you know, if you happen to notice that there's dishes in the sink, wash them, whether they're yours or not, just wash them. And I've been trying to do that. Like my son will do his dishes once or twice a week, but it's like, you know, why don't you do it within a certain time frame? But he gets caught up playing his games, and I do the same thing. So I really don't, I really need to hold myself accountable before I can hold anybody else accountable. And so it's true. I may be in the middle of something and I'll just throw like a fork or whatever in the sink. And it's gotten so bad we've converted to paper plates. I have a big thing of paper plates, and we try and do that so that there's less dishes, because I don't want to wash anybody else's dishes. I don't even want to take the time to wash my own dishes because I'm lazy, I guess, or I just feel I have other things that I need to do. So I'm going to try and use this organization cleanup to maybe work on that, because on my breaks and lunches, before, right after my surgery, I was getting up and going outside and walking. And I'm not doing that now, mostly because of the weather lately, but I want to get up and start walking a couple of laps before I come back and settle down and go back to work or whatever. And I think since I can't do that because of the weather right now, I think I can get up and stretch and do the dishes and then, you know, still walk around the house and then go back to work. So I'm thinking of incorporating that kind of thing. But I think it's important to be accountable, especially as an adult. So my husband and my son need to also be accountable for their stuff. So
Hold them to it.
I like these like steps that you're thinking of too, Tara. Like it's the whole spectrum of figuring out what works for different families too, you know. So yeah, and just even the little things, little shifts that you're making, that makes a difference as well.
Yeah, there's a difference between asking and telling, and I want to be in the asking, and it makes things smoother, because when we get to the telling, things don't go very well.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I find that if I express how it impacts me and how it makes me feel, he tends to help out more.
Oh, my husband will, for sure. I'm not worried about my husband. He's very supportive.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts today before we roll off? Or yeah.
I do want to share, just it's completely irrelevant or not relevant, but my sister-in-law just texted me. So on Wednesday I was babysitting my nieces who are 2 and 3 years old, and so I put on the inauguration, and we watched the inauguration, and was explaining to my nieces about, having a new president and having a female vice president and how exciting it is, and you can be president one day and all that stuff. And my sister-in-law just texted me that Maya was singing Joe Biden over and over again, and then said, "He's our present." And I was like, "Yes, he is our president."
That is adorable.
Merry late Christmas.
But yeah, Maya is the 2-year-old, so it just made me smile, just kind of like, oh, just telling her all about that stuff, and then that's her reaction is.
Aww.
That's adorable.
That was just cute. That was something that I just got a text from.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have a chance to watch it, so.
I think it's still on YouTube. If you watch anything, check out it's like 3 minutes. The youth poet laureate Amanda Gorman, her
I can't wait.
poem. It was gorgeous. She did a beautiful job. And that's like 2 minutes. So a lot of pomp and circumstance of a lot of things, but you watch anything, those 3 minutes are the best. Tara, Lisa, anything you want to say before we roll?
Oh, the Lady Gaga performance was fantastic. I saw that one and it made me cry.
That was awesome.
I'm so
I don't
happy.
watch TV. I mean, I have a TV, but I don't have cable or anything. And I never get on Facebook unless it's to follow you or specific people like my kids and stuff like that. But I don't do, my husband keeps me informed of everything that's going on. I have enough drama, but I try not to get into the whole political news,
Wormhole.
celebrity. I just don't do that. I kind of stick my head in the sand. My husband keeps me yanked out and informed.
Fair enough. Totally good. Yeah, and then anything that I ever post on the Joy Guild Facebook group, it's always also posted on the Joy Guild, the Mighty Network site, which also has an app. So if that makes it easier to find things, all the Zoom links, like next week's Thursday night gathering, that Zoom link's already up in the Joy Guild under events.
Thursday night gathering.
Yeah. So we have our red tents or our guild tents on the second Friday. And then we have our guild gatherings, which is just like bring a craft, hang out, like just chat, catch up, make friends on the fourth Thursday. So it used to be on the fourth Tuesday, but I started the vestry. So now we moved it to the fourth Thursday. And then now we're going to have this at some point. It just might shift depending on my schedule each month. But yeah, probably will be the third Saturday of the month. Most of the time, I think.
Okay, I have something on I did put in here, it's under your color. It says the recenter your soul from 7:45 to 8:45. I don't think that's the same thing.
That sounds lovely, but I don't have anything that's recentering soul things.
I thought it was something you recommended in one of the chats or something like that.
Oh yeah. What's her name? Angela Harrington. Yeah, she's fabulous. Yeah, she has her workshop that night. I think hers is at 7, but maybe it's 7:30 to 8:30. But yeah, she has a webinar that's great that I recommended. I can't go because gathering, but I'm gonna watch the replay. So Yeah, she's
Okay.
worth. That's worth. I would attend if I was in your shoes. I would attend her webinar over our gathering because we're just hanging out and chatting, but her stuff is like potent. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud, but this is. Or you can hang out with us and then watch her gathering because she'll have a replay too. So I forgot
Oh,
about that.
wow.
Yeah.
I
so
don't know
that's
how
totally
all
doable.
that works, so I don't know how to get into our thing to watch. I need to just take time and go through the Mighty Networks and figure out how to watch the replays and all that, because I just haven't taken the time to do that. That's something else on my organizational list.
I can take 2 minutes and show you real quick with my share screen.
Yeah.
Does that feel supportive or?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, as long as, Jet and Lisa are okay with that. I know they probably have things that they have to do. I know Jet
I
has
was
to get to
actually going
work.
to say I'm going to sign off so I can actually go to work.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
Jen. It was
Thanks for
nice to
joining
see
us, Jet.
you.
Bye, Jet. Have a good day at work.
See you later.
Bye-bye. Okay, so this is the Mighty Network site. So if you type in thejoyguild.com, it'll take you here. There's also a Mighty Networks app that you can have on your phone.
I think I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this, I know the site and the app are a little bit differently with the layout. So this is just like the scroll of the feed. But you can come over here and there's topics. And so it'll have guild tents, meditations, journal prompts, playlists, mermaid musings, guild gatherings. So if you want to, mermaid musings are like teachings that I've done on different topics. And so you can come in here and be like, hey, I want to learn about boundaries, or I want to learn about cycles. Okay. And you can click and you can watch that. Or if you're like, hey, I want to watch a guild tent, you click here, and then the guild tents from the different months will come up of sanctuary or boundaries or curious. So, and then the events is here on the left-hand side, and it has all of the events now till January or now till December of this year. And the different themes, and then you can click it. And there's a button that says add to calendar. And has a Zoom link. So you can add it directly to your Google Calendar, Apple. Yeah, totally. 100%.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I chose this program of Mighty Networks, because it had that integration.
Okay, because I've got so much stuff on my calendar and I'm kind of going, wait, what? And you're like, oh, yeah, next Thursday. I'm like, well, yeah, we have something. And I was like, wait, that's not what you just said it was.
Yeah, totally. So no,
Thank you for that.
For sure helps.
That's,
My
that's
pleasure.
really dope.
Yeah, and if you ever have any other questions, please let me know, because that way I can help. But yeah, no, and anything Angela touches, I'm always so excited about. I'm like, yes, this. And I was like, I'll be there. And then I was like, never mind, I will watch the replay. I have a gathering. But I was like, everybody who's not in Joy Guild or not coming, like, go to this. So yeah.
Okay. So how do you access the replay on hers? Does she have her own separate site, or?
So did you sign up? Did you click the link and sign up for her webinar?
I believe I did, because I have it on my calendar.
Okay, so then the day after or that night, she'll send an email that says, hey, thanks for joining, or if you didn't join, here's the replay. And it'll have a link to like YouTube or something, or whatever program she's using, that you'll be able to click and watch the replay as well.
Yeah, okay. All right. Because I have another thing on Saturday at 10 from somebody else that you recommended on the 28th. So
there's something today I recommended at noon.
I tried to,
the gay Christian story.
yeah, I have overtime.
Okay.
As soon as I get off of here, I have to log on and work.
Very good. I'm trying to think of what's next Saturday.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
It's Creative Soul from 10 to 11:30.
Oh, that's today.
Oh, hold on. I went to something on my email, and when I tried to open it, it said it was scheduled for 1:28 at 2 o'clock.
Oh, do you and I have a creative soul conversation?
I thought it was recenter your soul. Hold on. No, I don't think so.
No.
Because it's in my email.
Oh, I have an Air Force tour on the 28th from 6 to 7 p.m. that I'm doing, but that's for Air Force stuff.
Oh. Hold on, I have it here. I'm just looking for it. The Wild, hold on, Angela at Wild
Mhm.
Sacred Holy. Yeah,
Yeah,
So
that's the 28th.
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I have next week on Saturday. Because I thought that was today. I'd marked it today, and then when I went to go sign into it, which is why I was late to this, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what do you mean it's next week? Wait, my calendar's all messed up. So
I thought her
yeah.
thing was on Thursday night.
Uh,
I'll look and message you. Just
Okay.
so that way if you want it, you can, or maybe she's doing two versions of it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
See, and I'm not, I know my religion,
Mhm.
but a lot of this is Christian life and leadership, and I'm just kind of going, "Ooh, is that something I want to do?" So
Yeah, it's
I
totally
wasn't, I wasn't sure. But this is Recenter Your Soul workshop,
Mhm.
and that's why I was like, oh, okay. So I clicked on the login, and then it says, oh, it's not till the 28th, and I was like, at 2:00, and I was like, wait, what? I think I confused yours because soul, soul
Yeah,
workshop and
soul and
creative.
soul.
I'm thinking it's
She's like me, like a Christian, like a woo woo, like kind of vibes. So, but her,
Yeah.
I think her work is good. But the 28th is a Thursday.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can tell you, it's just
A
another
birthday.
Eh.
Your birthday.
Okay, I'll double check
Sunday on
Angela's
Saturday.
thing, but yeah, if it feels, if you got the nudge to go and watch it, and if you're just like, you know what, this doesn't feel supportive today, that's okay too. And we'll take you out of
But I consider, I know that you're Christian and I know your books and all that, but you're more spiritual to me. You don't bring God a whole lot into
Yeah.
your, and which what works for me.
Mhm.
So, cause I could just switch out the words in my head and I'm
Yeah.
good. So, but, yeah, there was one thing I think you recommended to me and it was very preachy and I was like,
Oh, boundaries.
no, not doing that. Yeah. I was like, no, we're good without this. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna find something else that works.
Yeah. No, I think at least with the work that I do, I think it should always be open-handed of like we should all walk together without trying to like pressure each other, and like my faith makes me better and try to be a more integral person, and your faith and your perspective of the world makes you a better person, and trying to, like if we can honor that and like
Non-proselytizing.
not
right.
become manipulative and angry people, then yeah. So
And
that's
yeah,
my
trying to
view on
force space on
Christianity.
that's why I'm not Christian either, but I just live the best life that I can. That's my thing.
I try and help other people live the best life that they can, regardless of race, religion, sexual creed. I mean, obviously, but yeah, I think that's what makes everybody is all those unique individualism, idiosyncrasies. I think that's what makes everybody
Yeah,
who they are. So,
I agree.
all right. Well, I'm gonna sign off because
Sounds
I
good.
do have mandatory overtime I have to get to. So
Good luck today. Thank you both for coming in and hanging out and chatting, and let us know. Throw it up in the Joy Guild, Tara, like how these things work for you or finding the loopholes. And yeah, and thank you,
Yeah,
Lisa, for posting your stuff.
I'll go ahead and look for that list, Lisa, so I can start, doing my check marks. So
I
at
put
the
it
end
in
of
the
the night, I
topics.
can check it off.
Yeah.
I think I put it in the things I learned topic.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Good
You
night,
both
ladies.
have a great day.
You too.
Night.
Bye.